All the questions clear? Yeah. By yourself, you can do someone else together. Not a test. Right, other words. Other revolutions. Retreat. Revolution. You do it by yourself, you can do it with someone else together. We're gonna review together afterwards, do another 5 minutes. Anything is not clear, just tell me. Questions aren't clear. I think it's clear. It all stands, we just asked you. Available. No,
I really like these apps.
Huh?
I like these apps. Me too. I love
Yeah.
them. Yeah, they're really helpful.
They are. Yeah,
Would be a really silly question. But that's
don't
it.
think it's a silly question.
This way. But when you say chefing a move on, I wouldn't say which night, but we're doing a recap. Can you get the same fruit with like the woman put the fruit by her, her like candelabra or whatever, and then men come here and come to the shore, pick it off the candelabra and put it in front of their
In other words, the woman is using it for herself to say Shafiyama on it,
yeah.
and then the men use the same fruit.
Is it like the same fruit? Yeah.
Yeah, but the women can't eat it because it's Yontif. Then you're kiddush yet. You're doing it by candlelighting.
So keep in mind, it will be.
Yeah, I mean, like we discussed, technically the bracha is just for the seeing it too. Customers you do when you eat it, but they can't eat it, so it's best. It's ideal that they should eat from it. Yes, they should have a mind eat. But even if they didn't, it's not. You know, they still say the bracha was seeing it. But yeah, the chatzil they should have a mind. They should eat it later after kiddush. Yes.
Better, like, possible then to get something new, like, I don't know, a new piece of wood or a new piece of clothing, and make the brush on more like solid.
You're asking is clothing better than the fruit?
Yes, just seeing, you put your teeth in line to get it.
Yes or no? It's tricky. It depends. Yes or no? There's an advantage to the fruit. There's an advantage to the garment. Because the garment, it could be an advantage. You have a very good point. It depends. Depends how excited you are about the garment. There could be, yeah, there could be an advantage. But generally, there's no. It's brought down. Luckily, anyways, even if you have nothing. So, it's just a better way. So, you want to be more. You want to go into more details? Yes. If you're getting in a garment that you're really excited about, that you really should say shachiana, then it's probably better. Better, but anyways, fine. Whichever way you do is fine. Images will speak English. Don't hesitate to ask, even though I'm looking to the safer, but if you want to ask something, just ask me. Whenever you're ready, we'll do it together. Yeah, you're ready? The world was created on the 25th day of Elul or the first day of Rosh Hashanah? Which one? Correct. The first man organism was created on the 25th day of Elul or the first of Rosh Hashanah? Correct. Organism sins or meeting is thus on the day before Rosh Hashanah or on Rosh Hashanah? We did the apple and honey on the first night or the second night? B. Connection to Borei, different immediately after Kiddush, or during the meal, or after the sale Leitzi on the Chag. After Leitzi, fine. Read the pomegranate the first night or the second night? First night. Yeah, first night when? I didn't ask you when. After one, yeah, good. 6. When do we eat the pomegranates? When do we do it? After the apple and honey. Do we say Shechionu, lighting candles to the second night? Yeah. Yeah. Where would you place it? Where would you place the fruit in front of them? During the mention, remember the Kiddush during the first night or the second? Second B. So is everyone obligated to eat from the new fruits? Only the women that are lighting candles and the men that say Kiddush. Is it only the women lighting candles and the men saying Kiddush that eat from the new fruits after Kiddush? Or everyone who's listening to Kiddush is obligated to eat from the new fruits? Who's obligated after Kiddush? Everyone should do it. Everyone is hearing Kiddush, but just the women who said Shechianu and the men who said Shechianu during Kiddush. That's correct. Custom, but I'm saying obligation. Obligation is only those who said Shechianu. Custom is everyone eats from it. That's the custom. And it means if someone, let's say, has a major issue with eating it, they don't have to. You don't have to knock yourself out, but let's say you have a stomach issue or whatever it is, that it's not like not in the same category like eating challah, washing for the meals of Shabbos and Yom Tov or other things that are obligatory. 8. So those who are obligated to eat fruit must eat a kazayis. True? True. Why is it true? What makes it true?
You can say that.
Whenever you eat something, you must say an afterthought. Saying it's a good thing to say afterthought. But are you obligated eating the new fruit? You must eat a kazayis to say an afterthought. You don't have to. The custom is that Rabbeim, if the Rebbe or all the Rabbeim, they would eat a kazayis and they would say an afterthought. Why? I don't know. It could be because the amount to say an afterthought for fruit is a very small amount. That means if you just take a small piece of fruit, chances are that you have to say kazayis because it's a very small amount. Chances are you have to say an after bracha. It's a very small amount, or you're close to it. So you might as well just make sure to have a kazayis. It's not allowed. I had a fruit I can show you. It's how much do you think is a kazayis from that pear? How much do you think? Maybe an 8 or a 10.
One bite.
The kazais from fruit and vegetables is approximately a half an ounce. Approximately. I'm not sure if it's a half an ounce or 2/3 of an ounce. Let's say 2/3 of an ounce. It's not a large amount. 9. The man is blowing shofar for a group of women, and he already heard the shofar. Should he say the brachas for the shofar again? Or should the women say it? Or one woman should say for everyone? Well, all the women should say the bracha, right? Right? You're being careful, you're not gonna. The answer is one woman says for everyone the bracha. One woman stands up and says the bracha loud, and she makes everyone. That's preferable. It's just like in Shul, when you hear the Megillah. You want to read the Megillah, it's one person says for everyone. It's a preferable way of doing it. It's more honor. It says, B'reivam hadin smeller. It's more honor that one does it for everyone. Even by Kiddush, actually, it's interesting, Shabbat is brought down, even though people aren't so particular on it for whatever reason. It's not an obligation, but it's actually preferable, according to what is brought in Shabbat, that when it comes to Kiddush, one says it for everyone. Everyone listens. So, whatever reason, we're not so particular on it, not sure exactly why, but the bottom line is, it's actually a preferable way that one says it for everyone. So instead of all the women saying the brachas, one stands up and says it for everyone. It's only women, right? Okay, 9 is moving the shape. And one woman stands up, she says the brachas loud, and everyone answers amen. They do not say Baruch Hu Shemai, and she's makes everyone with the brachas. That's how it should be done.
Did you say that or you don't?
But
The Baruch Shemai, did you say?
you do not say Baruch Hu Shemai.
Okay.
Whenever you bring Yitzhak brachas, Kiddush, Dala, brachas on the Megillah, whatever you bring Yitzhak, you do not say Baruch Hu Shemai.
Why not?
If it's interruption, just like you're not supposed to speak during the bracha, because if you speak, it's being that you hearing the bracha is like saying the bracha. So just like when you say the bracha yourself, you should not talk in the middle of the bracha. So when you're listening, you also shouldn't speak in the middle of the bracha. When you say Baruch Hu Shemai, it's like speaking in the middle of the bracha. Now, if you do say Baruch Hu Shemai, it is questionable if you're Yitzhak. So we cannot say, oh, for sure you weren't Yitzhak. You have to say the bracha again. We cannot say that. It's not for sure it's for sure an interruption. It becomes questionable. Now you cannot say the bracha. You can hear a bracha again from someone else if that's feasible, but otherwise, it's like Kiddush Avdol is the same thing. If you answer Baruch Hu Shemai, it's questionable for Yitzhak.
If it's not feasible to hear from someone else, then I know with like, if you can't remember, if you said a bracha on like coffee or something, you can say it in your head, so it's not a bracha like a tala. So with this, would you also like say the same bracha in your head?
It's not brought down about doing it in your head. Some opinions bring it out. Tzemach is not so clear about it. I don't think that's generally how we go by it. Firstly, you don't really have time because if someone said the brachas, and let's say he's answering for the Shemai, he's immediately going to shofar. So usually you don't even have time to say the brachas. You still yates in the midst of hearing shofar. Even without brachas. It's just ideal when you do a mitzvah to say a bracha first. Same with the Megillah. If you didn't hear the brachas in the Megillah, still hearing Megillah. You didn't hear the brachas, well, before you do a mitzvah, you should say a bracha. But if you're not able to, you're not able to. 9b, the same situation as 9e, but the woman doesn't know how to say the brachas. So what do you do? Why does it none of the women know how to say the brachas? So then the man says it to the women because the women don't know how to say the brachas. Correct? Huh?
Can you just tell her the word? She'll say it.
No, we can't say it for them because it's not like Kiddush and they're not
Oh,
obligated.
you say borough.
Correct,
Yeah, no. No,
Correct.
like you can do that.
right, correct. So the correct answer is you cannot say it for them.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
cannot say it for them because you have no obligation to hear shofar because you already heard shofar. So how can you say the brachas again for them?
Don't, you tell her the word to say, and you just say.
So no, okay, so that you can always do. If you're just saying the word, if you're not saying Hashem's name, you're just saying the words for them,
Yeah.
and they know how to say Hashem's name, then that's not a problem. But don't about when I mean saying it's for them, meaning like when you say Kiddush, we say the full bracha relates to them. You cannot do that because you have no obligation for the mitzvah of shofar, because the man does not have an obligation for the mitzvah of shofar because he already heard shofar. How can you say the bracha again for them
Like Kiddush, you like so.
by shofar? He already heard shofar. So why is he saying the bracha again? He has no obligation. Already heard shofar. How can you say the bracha, right? You get it? Okay, so what happens by Kiddush? So could the man say, the man already heard Kiddush, can he say Kiddush again? But how could he do it? He already heard Kiddush. Because the women are obligated, so therefore, because it's brought down that all Jews are responsible one for another, so being that the woman is obligated, so the man is also obligated. So therefore, it's not an issue of the man saying Hashem's name again for the women, because in a sense, the man is also obligated because we are responsible one for another. But shofar, women have no obligation. Okay, we finished the review sheet. I just need to, he does not say the bracha, he cannot say the brachas for them.
So, but are they covered by the, just simply hearing it?
There's nothing to do. The women, if the women do not, so they don't know how to say the brachas. So the question is, should the man say for them? The answer is no, because the man already heard shofar. So what happens? Nothing. Or if you could do like we said before, the man says they know how to say Hashem's name. If that works, they're willing to do it that way, and the man helps them. Yeah, that could always be done. I'm discussing the technical law, which will notice that if it's not going to work. So there's women who can't. They can't say whatever the case is for a variety of reasons. So then there's nothing to be done. He blows the shofar without brachas. That's it.
For number 8.
Yeah.
Not, to answer that, we're not obligated to use the kazayah.
The custom is Mida Kazayas. That's the custom. Yeah. Okay. So, let's go over some halachas. Let's discuss some halachas of Eid of Tavshilin. In the last class, you remember we discussed halachas of Eid of Tavshilin, that in order to be allowed to cook on the second day of Yom Tov this year for Shabbos, you need to do what's called an Eid of Tavshilin, which means that you prepare kala and a piece of fish or meat before Yom Tov, and you say a brach on it. Remember we spoke about this? Yeah?
No.
And that allows you to cook on the second day of Yom Tov for Shabbos. So what happens if you forget to make an Eid of Tavshilin? And you realize, when do you realize? Let's say the first day of Yom Tov. Is there anything you could do? Could you make an Eid of Tavshilin now? It's already Yom Tov. Could you make an Eid of Tavshilin? You want to talk about this? You want to think about this? No? Ask your non to make an Eid of Tavshilin?
Yeah, use the
So-
word, not like.
So actually it depends if it's Rosh Hashanah or other Yom Tovim. The difference between Rosh Hashanah and Sukkot and Pesach. If it's let's talk about the other Yom Tovim, not Rosh Hashanah. Let's talk about Sukkot this year. Shmini Atzeres and Simchas Torah, that's going to be Thursday and Friday this year. If Rosh Hashanah is Thursday and Friday, that means automatically the first day of Sukkot, 2 days Sukkot are also Thursday and Friday. Then the last is Yom Tov are also Thursday and Friday. That's how it works. So let's not discuss Rosh Hashanah, let's discuss all the other days. If you forget before Yom Tov, you can actually do it on the first day of Yom Tov. And the way you do it is, it's called with a t'nai, with a stipulation, with a condition. Which means, you make a condition. You say it like this. Now, you remember we discussed that the reason why we keep 2 days of Yom Tov, because back in the days they weren't sure which day is Yom Tov, so they kept 2 days. Now, the custom, now, Trump said we have to keep 2 days. We have to be strict about it, we keep it the same way. But nevertheless, at the same time, in terms of the reality, when it's really Yom Tov, it's really, we have the calendar now, we know the first day is really Yom Tov, not the second. Chacham say we cannot be lax on the second day, we must keep it the same way. But in actuality, the real day of Yom Tov is the first day. Now listen carefully. Now, what does it mean that we keep 2 days the same way? That when it comes to the first day, you gotta do what you gotta do. Comes the second day, you gotta do what you gotta do. Kiddush, lighting candles, davening, everything stays the same. You can't say, oh, it could be more lenient. However, here we have an interesting situation. Now it's the first day of Yom Tov. Now you did not do a native tafshilim. You got to do native tafshilim. So now you make a native tafshilim now. Now, just native tafshilim before Yom Tov. It's not Yom Tov now. Oh, okay. So you say like you make a condition. It's like this. We keep 2 days because we're not sure which day it is, right? Officially, even though now, but officially we don't know which day it is, right? So he says like this: if the real day of Yom Tov is really tomorrow, so today is Erev Yom Tov, so I'm making Erev Tavshil now. He's doing it on condition. Okay. Now, the fact is they're really the first day of Yom Tov. Okay, he's saying, are you saying if tomorrow is really Yom Tov, I'm doing Erev Tavshil today on the first day of Yom Tov, right? Comes the second day, he's like this. If yesterday was the real day of Yom Tov, yesterday's the real day of Yom Tov, so I'm making Erev Tavshil now. You got it? Did you get this? I'll say it again. No. You have to absorb it. It takes time. Now's the first day of Yom Tov. So say like this. If today is really the first day of Yom Tov, so then can't do anything. But if tomorrow is really the Yom Tov, so today's Erev Yom Tov, so I'm making Erev Tavshil now. Not a Shoshana. Shoshana doesn't work. Shoshana is a long day. When we discuss Shoshana is like a long. Not in Shoshana. Sukkot, Shmini Atzeres, other Yom Tov, right?
So if you forget the Eretz Yisrael and Rosh Hashanah, then you're doomed.
Right. So you can't do. Oh wait. Okay. This you can't do. There's other things that could be done. I mean, it's very limited, but we're discussing this stipulation, right? So again, comes the first day of Yom Tov, and you say, if today's really Yom Tov, so it's Yom Tov, can't do anything. But if tomorrow's the real day of Yom Tov, then I can make Erev Tashil now, because it's out of Yom Tov, right? Right? Now comes the second day of Yom Tov. They say like this: if yesterday was if today is Yom Tov, okay? So now up to the second day. We're now on the second day of Yom Tov, right? And he's saying this: if today is really Yom Tov and yesterday was Erev Yom Tov, so I already made yesterday at Erev Tashil. But if yesterday was the real day of Yom Tov, so today's not. So it means today's not Yom Tov. So I'm making Erev Tashil now.
For Erev Shabbos.
You make Erev Tashil on the second day.
It said so saying, what is the second day? You forgot the first day.
One second. I'm sorry. One correction. No. He says if yesterday was really Yom Tov, so today is not Yom Tov, so I could cook. That's correct what I just said. Correct the last thing I said. Saying if yesterday was really Yom Tov, so today is not Yom Tov. So what's the problem? It's a cook.
You should never be making second day of Yom Tov because
You can't make there's no way, right? Erev Tavshilin has to be done Erev Yom Tov. What you're doing on the first day is you're saying, that if in reality, let's say tomorrow is really Yom Tov, so today is Erev Yom Tov, so I'm going to get to Shema now. On the second day, you say, if yesterday was Yom Tov, so today is not Yom Tov. Second good. If today is really Yom Tov, that means yesterday was Erev Yom Tov. So I did the Erev Tavshilin yesterday on the first day. I already said that on the first day I said if tomorrow is Yom Tov, today is not Yom Tov. So I'm doing that. So I'm doing the Erev Tavshilin. Comes the second day, Shev and we look at it, it works. Now, usually, generally, the way it works is the second day we treat the same like the first day. But that's in terms of halachas. When it comes to second day, you got to treat everything the same way. But when it comes to this situation where it's either or, you're doing it on the first or second day, then you have that flexibility of setting it up in a way where one day is really Yom Tov. It's the same like if we talk about if the egg is laid on the first day of Yom Tov, you can eat it on the second day, even though we treat both days the same. But that's in terms of the day in itself. But if it's something that's connected, that connects both days together, like the egg was laid on the first day of Yom Tov, then we say, comes the second day, we say, what's the issue? In reality, it's really one day. So what's the issue? The egg was laid yesterday. If, being that it was laid yesterday, today is a separate day. So what's the problem? If yesterday was Yom Tov, what's the problem? If yesterday was a weekday, so the egg was laid on a weekday. Get it? Now, if it's Rosh Hashanah, we said you can't do anything. You can't make the stipulation. So if someone forgot, what do? Usually what happens is, like in any situation, you have a question, you come to the Rav, and you ask the Rav, what do you do? Now, usually, the Rav will be lenient the first time you forgot. What do you mean lenient the first time you forgot? How does this make sense? You forgot. There is this concept that the Rav does an Erev Tavshilin for the whole city. There's actually an opinion that says, but we don't hold like that the Rav has everyone in mind and you're included, but we don't go by that. But there's this idea that the Rav makes Erev Tavshilin for the whole city in case someone forgets. So, okay, so what's the problem? So why is the whole conversation? You forgot, so why do we have the whole discussion? You forgot that other things you. No, at the same time, you're saying, not if you're negligent. And if you're negligent, you're not included in the Rav's Erev Tavshilin. So you're coming to the Rav to find out in what category you are. Were you forgetful or were you negligent? Now, negligent doesn't just, there's a different interpretation of what we think it means. We think negligent means like, I didn't care. No. The person forgets, it can also be attributed to him not being careful, not being on top of things. So therefore, generally, basically you come to the Rav and explain what happened. The Rav will assess the situation. Usually, the Rav will be lenient the first time it happened. If it's the first time such a thing happened, okay, you're human. But if it's the second time it happened, so now when something happens once, you should have been much more careful the next time. Being that you weren't, even though the second time you weren't quote unquote negligent, you forgot, you care, doesn't matter. The Rav will say, you have an issue. You were quote unquote negligent. Like we're saying, negligence doesn't have a definition as we determine negligent means, but halacha determines negligence when a person should have been more on top of things and he wasn't. So then he will not be able to rely on the Erev Tavshilin of the Rav. Then comes the second day of Yom Tov, they have an issue. They cannot cook. They cannot do anything. So what could they do in such a situation? So there are things that can be done. I don't know how much time we have to discuss this, but we can at least start to discuss it. And that is to start with, there is a way if a person, let's say, did not cook yet for the second day of Yom Tov, right? So it's the second day of Yom Tov, Friday in the morning, and no way to Tavshin. So you need to cook for Yom Tov, which you're allowed. You're allowed to cook a lot of foods. If you're doing one act, one cooking act, you could cook, you do one act of cooking for both days together, for Yom Tov and Shabbos together. But it's not so simple. It's not so simple.
Say that again.
If you're cooking for both days together, let's say you're cooking, it's the second day of Yom Tov, Friday morning. No Erev Tavshin, and let's say you can't rely on the dogs Erev Tavshin. So what could you do? You need to cook for Yom Tov for the second day. You didn't cook it for the Yom Tov meal. You're allowed to cook for that meal, right? So the halach is you're allowed to cook for both days at once. Now there's a lot of details in it. I'm going to start explaining. We're going to have so much ready towards the end of class. It depends what kind of food it is. In a nutshell, it sounds like the kids there, briefly, and then we'll elaborate next week. If it's, let's say, cooking chicken or meat, where the more it cooks, the tastier it is. So then if you fill up a whole pot of chicken or meat, because you need for that day, and you're putting it at the fire in one act, so you're cooking it all at once, even though you're cooking it for both days together. But the more it cooks, the tastier it is, that's okay. You know how to do. But we'll go into more details in the next class. Good job, everyone.
Good Shabbos.
No, I think for like roots, how we are gonna make you about the.
Yeah.
I'm.
Uh,
I said,